Hello and welcome to This Week in Comics. I'm your host Pete here in Comic Connections in Banbury, and we are going to be running down all the best comics coming out this week, which is week 23. Now DC have Catwoman, Image have Maneaters. They're cat-based comics, and not to be outdone, Marvel have decided to release the perfect comic to go alongside it. It's Black Cat, issue 1. It's got a beautiful J. Scott Campbell cover. Unfortunately, he's not done the interiors because J. Scott Campbell doesn't do interiors these days, but he's done a cover and it looks lovely. So, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, and there's a lot of Spider-Man books, but you can have another character from the Spider-Man universe having a comic, and Black Cat is it. I assume it's an ongoing, but it looks very good, looks a lot of fun. If you like your heist-based characters, Black Cat is one of those. And if you've played the Spider-Man game on the PS4, you will have noticed Black Cat was in there. So if you liked her in that, you'll like her in this. Come in and buy it today. I know a lot of you came into store or your local comic store, wherever that was, and picked up the free copy of Year of the Villain to set the stage for this summer and the ongoing storyline featuring DC's most famous and most ruthless villains. Now, carrying on with that, a lot of the DC comics are going to be tying into Year of the Villain, and Justice League issue 25 is the first big one to come out. So I know a lot of you read Justice League already, but a few of you don't. And if you read Year of the Villain and you want to learn more about where these villains are going, Lex is a big part of that, and he's a big part of Justice League. Not in the Justice League, he's against the Justice League in the Legion of Doom. And issue 25 is a big issue of the Justice League, not just because it's a big number, it's bigger than normal, and it's an extra $1, so you get more bang for your buck, but you're paying a few more bucks. What can I say? But yeah, Year of the Villain carries on in Justice League issue 25. One of the best comic publishers out there for giving you brand new and exciting titles is Image. And I like to give a big thumbs up to Image weekly. And this week is no different because Thumbs issue 1 is out. And we give this the Comic Connections thumbs up of the week. Thumbs, if you don't know what it is basically, imagine a character such as Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, and he gets lots of techie kids involved in forming a little bit of an army to take on the government. That is basically the synopsis of Thumbs. $5 book, so a little bit more expensive than usual, but it is a lot thicker than usual. It's got a nice cardstock cover. Image can really do no wrong with their new franchises and their new IPs, and Thumbs looks just as good as all the Image books you know and love. So if you want a bit of technological espionage, Thumbs is the way to go. Hot off the heels of Marvel Zombies, which came out in 2005, DC are doing their own thing when it comes to their characters being dead and zombies. They say Prince dead. It's not. It's just zombified in DC Eased or Deceased issue 2. Now, we didn't speak about issue 1 because we weren't recording the videos then, but that is still available, hopefully on the shelf if you get in there quick. But issue 2 of this mini-series is out this week. Deceased, as it sounds, all your favourite DC characters are either dying or zombified, and it's pretty good. Normally you'd see something like this and think, bit odd, but it's a good book. Issue 1 was really, really fun. Looking forward to cracking on with issue 2. It's only 6 issues. It's a fun mini-series, not set in any continuity, so you can enjoy this without having to read loads of backstory or committing to a big, big long run. It's 6 issues. It's DC East, or Deceased, as it's actually called. I just like calling it DC East. Issue 2 in stores today. Another title hitting issue 2 this week is the Savage Avengers. Again, we didn't speak about issue 1, but I'm going to do it now because we've still got it in stock. Savage Avengers issue 1 and 2 are available off the shelf, with issue 2 coming in this week. If you don't know what the Savage Avengers is, this is basically a darker team of Avengers featuring the likes of Wolverine, Punisher, even Conan is in there, Venom, and this character here, who I don't know. But if you pick this up, you will be able to find out and tell me. Yeah, Savage Avengers, I've heard nothing but good things. If you like your darker books, if maybe you like the Dark Avengers back in the day, if you like Thunderbolts, Savage Avengers is kind of the new book based on that sort of thing. So yeah, check it out. Like I say, we've got issue 1 and 2 in stock, so you can get it from the ground up and get it on your standing order and save 20% off cover price. back in the year 2000, Image had a new imprint called Guerrilla Comics, and one of the comics they released as part of that was Section Zero. Unfortunately, it only ran for 3 issues before it was cancelled. Now, Carl Kessel and Tom Grummett launched a successful Kickstarter campaign a couple of years ago to finish that off in a lovely hardcover form. All 6 issues finally got released, and Image have finally started releasing it again. Now, like I say, 19 years ago, we got 3 issues of Section Zero on the shelf. This is issue 3, so this basically gets us back to the point where we were at all those years ago. So if you've been enjoying Section Zero, if maybe you read it before and you're waiting for issue 4 to come out, issue 3 is out this month, issue 4 next month. So all that stuff, if you didn't read the hardcover, will be new for you. Really, really good stuff. If you like your X-Files, if you like creatures from the Black Lagoon and Yetis and all that sort of fun stuff, check out Section Zero. It's very good and deserves your time. DC in recent years has been on fire with some of their books based on younger characters. Obviously, we've seen the relaunch of Young Justice, which is doing gangbusters. Everyone's loving it. Teen Titans doing very, very well with that new team featuring classic and brand new characters. But not to be outdone, Adventures of the Super Sons is still running. Great, great book featuring Superboy before he was aged up and Damian Wayne. It's a 12-issue maxi series. Issue 11 is out this week, so only one more issue to go. But it's been one of the best things I've been reading each month, and you can't go wrong with a bit of Tomasi writing 2 of the characters he kind of made famous in recent years. So yeah, Adventures of the Super Sons, issue 11, just one more issue to go. So if you've been waiting on the trade, it won't be long. But if you want to wrap up the series in floppy format, issue 11 is out this week. Do you know what you lot love more than comics? Nothing probably, but in number 2 place is Star Wars, and a brand new Star Wars book from Marvel is out this week. It's a book all about Luke Skywalker. I'm sure you've heard of him. He's quite an important character in the Star Wars universe, but if you want to learn a bit more that you haven't had in the films, in the books, in the games, Luke Skywalker issue 1 from Marvel. Looks really, really good. You know what you're getting if you're buying a Marvel Star Wars book. They're generally pretty darn good. So yeah, rush in, pick this up today, and use the Force or something. Don't know. And now it's time for our trade paperback pick of the week. I say pick, it should be picks. We got 2 for you, 2 for the price of 1. Are you dreaming? I think you are, because Dreaming, the trade paperback, is out this week, part of this relaunch of the Sandman universe, which I know a lot of people have really, really enjoyed. But much like with the original Sandman series, people like to buy that in trade paperback format. They're not so keen on buying the single issue. So if that is you, you'll be happy to know that the Dreaming is in this week. Heard nothing but good things about that from the mind of Neil Gaiman. You know what you're getting with Gaiman. You know what you're getting if you enjoyed Sandman back in the day. Come in, check it out. Our second trade paperback of the week is Nightwing, and this is the current arc of Nightwing where he's been shot in the head. He's forgotten who he is. He's not even going by the name Dick Grayson anymore. He's Rick Grayson, not to be confused with Rick Grimes. That's a different character in a different comic. But yeah, Nightwing, he's a popular character. You all know and love him, but apparently this is Nightwing as you've never seen him before. That's right, he's got a shaved head. Normally he's got a lovely mullet or long flowing locks, but now because he's Rick Grayson, he's got a shaved head. So if you want to learn what happened to Nightwing, he wants to learn too because he's forgotten everything. Check out this trade paperback from DC. It's Nightwing, Night Terrors, spelt with a K. Before we wrap up, I just want to give you an exciting bit of news regarding here at Comic Connections. On the 15th of June, we have got David Hein coming into store to sign copies of his brand new comic Sonata issue 1, which I do believe comes out just a few days before the big signing. So hot off the press, you can get your copy of issue 1 of Sonata by David Hein signed. So come in, he's going to be in from around 12 o'clock that lunchtime. He'll be in here for a few hours signing comics, answering questions, having photos taken. Come in, meet him, get a signature and have a jolly good time. So that brings us to the end of another comic. Plenty of good books there. Hopefully you're going to check some of those out. By all means, leave in the comments some of the comics that are out this week that maybe we didn't mention that you think other people should be reading. Always happy to hear your recommendations. As we always like to say, if you're local to Banbury in the Oxfordshire area, come into Comic Connections, check out what we've got. We've got loads of new comics. We've got back issues, trade paperbacks, toys, t-shirts, statues, you name it, we've got it. And if you put any titles on regular standing order with us, not only do you get them reserved behind the counter so you don't miss an issue, you save a whopping 20% off cover price. But if you're not local to Banbury, check out your local comic store. I'm sure you've got one near you. Support your local independent comic shops and they will support you back. Until next week, see you then.